Hello, and welcome to the Metro MLS Coffee Break webinar on how to edit a view on the fly in FlexMLS. In this short webinar, I'll explain what a view is, and then I'll show you how to edit one on the fly. So let's begin. So what a view is are the columns that you see on the search results screen. So I'll show you. So I'm just going to do a full search. I'm going to do it on single family. I'll do it on active and delete and hit next. I'll do it for Milwaukee, and I will do it for Milwaukee. Alright, so I'm going to view my results. Alright, so as you can see here, this is the single family view. So these are the columns that are in that single family view. Postal municipality, list price, beds, baths, all that other good stuff. Okay, so now what editing a view on a fly is you can manipulate these. You can add and subtract columns and just kind of build your own view. So just to show you, you got to make sure that you're here on the list tab. I'm going to show you a view that I've got called delayed listing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this search, and I'm just going to do just delayed status there, and then we'll hit to kind of narrow that down. Alright, so these are my delayed listings here. So I've created a delayed listings view. So I'm going to hit my views menu, that's what this is, and locate that view that I created. Now if you see any views that have the asterisk after it, that's a system created view. You cannot delete those. Any views that don't have the asterisk after them is views that you created, and you can delete those. So I'm going to click on delayed listings, and just to show you, so this is the delayed listings view that I created. So here we still got the thumbnail. I've got a property types column, a municipality column, if you haven't search municipality, and let me just edit the search here just to take that out. Let's say I wanted to see all delayed listings. There we go. Alright, so there's currently 184 delayed single-family listings. Alright, so still using this view, there's the property type, so it lets me know what property type that it is. I think I searched single-family, but if you don't want to search single-family, if you want to search multiples, you can just hold down your control key. Gives me the municipality, the start showing date, the showing information, beds, full baths, half baths, acreage, estimate total square footage, listing member, and listing office. So this is a view that I created on my own based on whatever it is that I wanted to see for delayed listings. So you can do the same too. So I'll show you with one that's kind of common. So I'm going to do a sold listing search. So I'm going to start back up at full search. And if you don't have full search in your shortcut menu, you can click on the menu button and then click full search there. So I'm going to do single family sold, hit next. I'm going to do my county, I'm going to do my municipality, and I'm going to go to the dates tab and then select the sold date range. Let's see how much I can skinny that down. Let's see if I do it from the beginning of the year. How many I get there. Okay, 57, that's a good amount. So I'm going to view my results. Okay, so it brought me into the single family view, which is good. So these are columns that I feel that are useful. But maybe because they're sold properties, I'd like to see the sold price. Maybe I'd like to see the original list price. I'd like to see the sold date, the days on market, maybe the selling member. Okay, so I'm going to create a view based on what I'd like to see here. Okay, so I can use this single family view if I want to, but I'm going to switch it to a system view called the sold listings view right here. Alright, so it's showing me the information here. So I get sold price, I get list price, beds, total bath, sold date, days on market. So maybe I don't need the fall through date, but maybe I'd like to see the listing member and the selling member. Maybe I'd like to add a column to see if there was any concessions made on that. So now that I've switched it to the view that I'd like to build off of, and that's basically what I did, I'm going to build off of this sold listing view and make it my own by tweaking it. So how to do that, I'm going to click on this little view link. So this is called editing a view on the fly. So it's taking me into that sold listings. I'm going to call it my sold listings. I'm going to give it a different name, so I know this is my custom view. If I'd like to change the options, whether to show the photo, to default it for a full search. So whenever I start at full search, it'll automatically pop up in that view for any property type that I've selected it for. And I can also default it for my listings, my office listings, or when I perform address and MLS number searches. So I'm going to go to the Fields tab, and then this is where I can choose the fields that I'd like. So I'm using fields for single family properties. So I want to add concessions. So in this field, I'm going to type in the first few letters of the word concessions, and it'll bring up matches. There it is right there. So I'm going to left click it. When I left click it, it adds it over here to the side. Now I'm going to do listing member, L-I-S-T. There it is right there. So I'll left click it. There you see it there. Now I'm going to do selling member. There we go. Alrighty. And if you just like to scroll through to see what's available, you most definitely can do that. Alright. Okay, so I've got pretty much everything over here that I want, so maybe I want to tweak it over here. So I said I didn't need fall through date. So any columns that you don't want, you just click the X for that column to get rid of it. Then if I'd like to move things around, so maybe I've got sold price here, list price, maybe I'd like original list price a little bit closer to the price section. So here, there's original list price. I'm going to move my mouse over this arrow and I'm going to hold it down and I'm just going to drag it up and pop it where I want it to be. Oops. Let it go a little bit too soon. There it goes. Alright, so sold price, list price, original list price. Maybe I'd like to see sold date after that. Days on market after that. I'll keep bed and bath together. Property type, there's the concessions, listing member, selling member. So I've got them in the order that I'd like them to see, but I can always come back and edit this view and change it if I change my mind. So once I see it the way that I want to over here, I'm going to come up here and hit save. Then it's going to take me back out to that sold listing search, and here's my view, my sold listings. So there's my columns. And just keep in mind, the more columns that you add, the squishier it'll look on these screens. You can't, you know, grab a column and resize it or anything. So there's sold price, list price, original list price, sold date, days on market, beds, baths, estimate total square footage, there's a county, property type, if there was any concessions, listing member, and selling member. Notice that these are links, so if I were to click on the listing member's link, I'll click on Chris Gregg, there's his business card. So I can see his information there. If I want to shoot him a contact message, I can, or open house feedback. Same thing for the office. I get the office's business card with their information and license number. Same thing for the selling member. Her photo's not loaded to her profile. So some of these will look different depending on how filled in the member has their profile information. And there it is for her office. Okay, so just to reuse this view, if I did a search at any other time, just starting over, and I'll go back a year on brown deer. So whenever you want to use one of your views, you just come up here, make sure you're in the list tab, and switch, and in your menu look for that. There it is, my sold listings. And there you have it. And these views stay in your system unless you delete them. We don't touch this stuff, okay? This will conclude our coffee break webinar for editing a view on the fly in FlexMLS.